Hello, fellow coaches. Chris Thompson, JTS Advisors Designated Strategy and Accountability Coach, here coming to you with a video on one of my pet peeves about the coaching industry. Some of you may have heard or feel that it's a common thing I hear in the industry among coaches that you only going to work with your client for a set, kind of a period of time, and your client will eventually, outgrow your coaching relationship and won't need you anymore, and they will somehow fly off into adulthood or something and no longer have a value in that. And I think it's hogwash. I think it's absolutely bunk, and I'll explain to you why I feel that way. First of all, I've had mentors that I've had for decades in some cases. Jeff, who we all know, I've known him 15 years probably, for example. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. We're all growing as coaches, of course, as well. And then the other thing I think that's really interesting is when someone knows us well, they have insights into us faster than a stranger may have insights into us because they simply know us already. So I feel like coaching actually gets better the longer you're working with your client. I have clients I've worked with 4, 5, 6, 7 years in some cases. And there's things I know about them, patterns, tendencies, situations they've been through that it would take another coach years, certainly several months to catch up on, even if they have a powerful assessment tool to use, like the DISC and the kind of things that we use. So I don't buy that. You definitely don't want your client to get dependent on you, no question about that. Call you for every decision that they ever make in their life. Develop their develop their own opinions about things, of course, but they're not dependent on you in that situation. In fact, you're helping them to grow all the time. So that I think that kind of thinking of the client outgrows you kind of comes from the short-term mindset. I mean, if you think about it, when do we ever stop growing? When do we ever stop having goals to hit and achieve in our lives? When do we ever stop having problems? When is our life perfect? The answer is never. When is accountability? When do we outgrow accountability? Never. So I don't buy that. Here's where the challenge comes in with that. Coaches that think that way about the short term, the challenge there is, one, you're not going to get any long-term clients that way because you're thinking that you're only going to be there for a short period of time. What you want to do is you want to stretch your client at various points. So your client hires you oftentimes to solve a short-term problem that they have in their life. Nothing wrong with that. I'll go into another video in the future about that a little bit. But they're hiring you for a short-term problem. Maybe they're thinking about losing weight, whatever it might be, starting a business, whatever it is, finding a relationship, right? But at some point you want to stretch them. We want to stretch them so far that they're actually getting to procrastinate because you're stretching them too far, if you will. And they lose a sense of urgency about the short-term problem. But we definitely want to show them how that short-term problem is fitting into the bigger picture. So from time to time, we are refocusing our client on the short term, so they're making progress on a daily basis, and they're not feeding into procrastination, which a lot of times overly long goal setting feeds procrastination, tends to do. But at the same time, you want to stretch your client, because if you don't stretch your clients thinking about what's next, what's the next challenge, what's the next outcome, then yeah, they're not going to work with you for very long because they're going to get that one short-term thing that they think done, handled, and they think, well, cool, I don't need you anymore. I got the thing handled. I got what I needed to get out of coaching. And it can be a real disservice to them because there could be far more levels to that we're never going to get them to. One of my mentors taught me that there's up to 10 levels of understanding of an idea. So even if we understand something, we may even have it at an elementary level. There's more and more levels, to go on that, and with greater and greater results and benefits to us. So just a little pet peeve of mine. I don't think it's healthy for coaches to think, well, they're going to outgrow me and move on at some point. You're never going to have a client work with you for a long time if that's the mindset, in my opinion. Make sure they're getting what they need to live the life that they want, whatever needs to happen for them to do that, and have that long-term mindset as their coach. And you're going to dramatically increase the likelihood that you're continuing to add value to them, and having that long-term point of view, they're a lot more likely to also share that point of view.